Game 3 against the Ottawa Senators in overtime.
The crowd just gives me chills.
I mean, I was at that game. It was incredible moment. And tonight, remembering some of those great moments as the Buffalo Sabres host the Montreal Canadiens this evening at KeyBank Center. It'll be 05-06 reunion night. A number of players back in town to remember that team and celebrate a great time in Sabres history. And they're coming in at a good time in the Sabres present as they've won 14 out of 16. They win last night, beating the Philadelphia Flyers. Joining us on the Western Hotline is JP Dumont. JP, it's Jeremy and Joe. Thanks for taking some time this morning.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's good to be back. I mean, it's good to have you guys back, I should say. You can tell me if it's good to be back. But it's also good to have you guys back and have a night like tonight that's kind of surrounded by a Sabres team that has found a gear that 05-06 team found, because you guys had a win streak of your own.
Yeah, we had a few, like not as, I would say, not as impressive as this one, but yeah, we had a few during that season. You know what I mean? And you're right. You know what I mean? It's good to be back, and it's fun to watch, you know what I mean? Like the Sabres play that way right now. It's a lot of fun. You know, like I said, even if I live in Nashville, I still follow the Sabres, and I'm kind of thrilled right now, too, that they're playing so well, and it's going to be was a fun game last night, and it's going to be another one tonight.
As we look back to that 05-06 team, you're going to see a lot of faces, maybe some you do keep in touch with, some that you haven't seen in quite some time?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, like, you know, obviously, like, yeah, like there's a few guys that we still keep in touch with, still cross, you know, I mean, at the rink once in a while, like, but, yeah, like even like last night, you know, like Teppo, Newman, and Henrik Towner, like guys that's been a long time. I didn't see Jochen Ash, right? I mean, so it's been fun. This is the beauty about the team sport. You know, it felt like, you know, we didn't see each other for so long, but it was like yesterday. You know, I mean, all the story came back, and we just chill, watch the game, and just like was so good to see everyone.
When do you think you remember, JP, that team had something? Like you mentioned, like you guys went on a win streak in like the late fall, or maybe like it was into the winter. Was it about the new year? Was it before that? Like when you guys maybe realized as a group that you were onto something?
Yeah, I think it was just more like I said, like, you know what I mean? Like we had to believe in the locker room, like that every time that we really enjoy going to the rink and being there, like, you know, like practice games, like, you know, just being together. So you can feel that, you know what I mean? Like we're all together in the mission, and like felt that everyone was like, you know, bringing a big part of the team. Like, you know, every other night it was another line, another, like, you know what I mean? Like saves, like, you know, block shot, big hit, like, you know, fight, the goals, like, you know, like everybody was chipping in their way. And we just felt that it's really hard to describe. Like I said, it was not like a moment, say like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like we got something here. I felt it was just like, you know what I mean, the way that we really enjoy being together.
JP, you'd been with the Sabres for a couple of years before that, and a 20-goal scorer multiple times before that 05-06. And then there's the lockout. What do you remember about the return from that? Like, where guys were all kind of splintered off in their own spots. Some guys were in the AHL. What did you do during the lockout?
Like I said, I was here in Buffalo. What happened is I had my first born daughter born in during that time. So I was here during the lockout. I didn't want to leave my wife and a newborn baby here and go play in Europe. So I stayed here, trained, and was going back home in Montreal once, probably like a few times to play those little tournaments that some NHL guys put together back home. So I was doing that back and forth, but I stayed here until if I'm not mistaken, until March. And Danny Briere was in Switzerland, and one of the player on the team left the team, so they were looking for a player for the last 3 games of the season. So I packed my bag and I went to Switzerland. I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and I was there for 2 months because we went almost all the way to the final. So that was a fun experience. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, the lockout was not fun. It's never fun. But, this is how I stay busy during the lockout. And when we came back, obviously we had a lot of young guys that was able to play in Rochester. So I think that's really give us the boost. You know what I mean? I think a lot of our guys during the season played, so nobody was really off for the full year. So I think that really gave us an advantage beginning the season.
Yeah, do you remember, because all the rule changes that had happened during the lockout, do you remember like an emphasis on that when you guys came back? Because the thing that I think is remembered about your team, the most, or if not close to it, is that you guys were fast and skilled, and the league had kind of, gone that way.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, especially for the years prior to the lockout, it was, and like I said, don't get me wrong, right? Like I started my career in 98, 99, so there was a lot of grabbing and holding back then. And, that game changed, and, the system changed, too. I remember the coaching staff with Lindy, we're, just because of our speed, we're trying to play with 3 men on the rush all the time in the D-joining. So, that was something new for a lot of teams. And I think with our speed, it was a huge factor for us. So, I think that, it was fun playing that way, and I think it was fun for the fans to watch, the boys be able to use their speed and their skill set.
That playoff series, the first one, Philadelphia, that's like the first game back for a lot of fans, like to see the team back in the playoffs after a small drought. You guys open up with the overtime victory, and then game 2, you had a hat trick in game 2,
I was
right?
just watching the highlights of that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was and like I said, when I got to Buffalo, my first year, and we had Ashek in net, we did beat the Flyers as well. So, for me, I was no doubt in my mind we were going to beat the Flyers. That was just something that we kind of did in the playoff, right? So, there was definitely a lot of excitement. The city went, I would say, went nuts. It was unbelievable. The crowd outside watching the game, and it was insane. It was so much fun, to be part of something like this. And, that's why, like I said, every time I come back and visit and do stuff with the alumni and we have a chance to talk to the active player, that's what we, that's the first thing we tell all the boys, right? It's just boys, just make the playoffs. You'll see something else here. The fans are great, but in the playoffs, everybody stepped, not just the players, the fans as well.
Do I remember, this is I'm trying to pull a deep pull here now. Did you have a run-in with Branko Radivojevic in the Philly series? He spear
that's a name.
Did he spear you?
No, I don't.
Might have been somebody else. He's on that Flyers team in 05-06, and I feel like he got a major for hitting somebody or something with a stick. I'm trying to remember, but
what I would notice about that series, I don't know if you remember this, JP, because
Brian Campbell's hit on Umberger. That's why I remember.
Just gonna bring it up because we're all watching highlights from that season in the last couple days. You had almost scored right before that, and I think you're the guy that is skating right towards the hit.
Yes, this is what everybody watched the video and was oh, do you know that was coming? I was no, I missed the goal, so I know I had to back check. So I'm coming back into play, and when I saw that hit happening, I was literally I had the best seat in the house, that's for sure. For that hit, I was right next to it, and definitely changed, the course of that game and the series as well.
Is that the biggest hit you've ever seen playing?
I saw a few different ones, but in the impact, you know what I mean? The timing of it and everything, yes, it's definitely it was, it's everything with it, right? And I mean, the way it happened against the Flyers at home, everything was this, it was almost like a movie scene, you know what I mean? It was perfect.
Yeah, the crowd popped like a goal in overtime. We played the clip coming in of your goal in Game 3, the overtime winner. And I want to ask you about the goal itself because it was kind of a weird one, right? It was a floater, but also, the difference and the importance of a goal like that, the difference between going up 3-0 in a series versus 2-1, and I just feel like the feeling would have been a lot different depending on the result of that overtime.
Oh, like I said, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? I just came off the bench for there was a line change, came off the bench, and Taylor Pyatt crossed the blue line, and I even tried to make a pass across and got tipped. So that's why the puck was up all in the air. So I had to catch it with my glove and put it down. And when I put it down on the ice, it was still fumbling a little bit, so it was not flat. And I just put, I'm not going to lie to you, I was not aiming there. I was just hit the net. So I put the puck on net, and the little fluffer went over his shoulder, and and went under the crossbar. So yeah, there was definitely, like I said, like like my personal career, like it was definitely the best and the most fun goal that I scored.
JP Dumont joining us on the Western Hotline ahead of tonight's Sabres game with Montreal, a reunion for the 05-06 team. And then JP, like you are a player that you're on that team, and then you end up leaving. You go off to Nashville. Was it bittersweet for you? Because like that team, I don't know how much you guys felt like you should have won the whole thing. Like I know a lot of fans, myself included, thought like that team should have won the Stanley Cup, and I know shoulda, woulda, coulda. Not really through fault of your own. Like the team was just absolutely ripped apart by injuries, and it kind of feels like it's a what might have been kind of thing.
Yeah, like I said, as an athlete, you never want to use that excuse, right? And saying like, injuries, like it happened for any team, any sport. But yeah, we like I said, like was definitely unfortunate, like the injury and the illness that that kept our decor out of the lineup. But yeah, like I said, it was tough. Like I definitely didn't want to leave. Like with the cap and the cap era, and all the players went to arbitration. There was I think 5 guys at that time went to arbitration. So there was no really the team didn't really have anybody with long-term contract at that time. So that everybody was kind of on a year by year kind of stuff. So I'm really fortunate that I ended up in Nashville and worked well for me. But we that season, I remember we always talking about how great it would have been if we could have all stayed together for a few years. That was something that we always talk about.
Do you remember what you were feeling, or what the group's kind of, I don't know, sense was, or was it disbelief as the Carolina series was undergoing? Every time an injury was popping up.
At one point, yes, you're we're okay, what else? What else could happen to us? What did we do to get the hockey gods not being on our side? It was crazy, and even the one with Jamie Key, we're on the plane ready to go, and guy said hey, Chee's not going to play, and we're all okay, it's not funny, where is he?
Right.
Is he a little bit late for the plane? And it was no, seriously, he's in hospital, he's not coming. And we're okay, we literally told us okay, stop fooling around, what's going on, right? It was almost okay, what else could happen? And don't get me wrong, right? That's what the beauty of that team is, we have a lot of guys that came in and step up and play some big roles, a lot of guys that you step up during the season. That's a lot different than go play conference final, and you have to step up and play some big minutes. So credit to the boys that came in and played some big hockey for us.
Yeah. What about Lindy, JP? You played for him for a while. I wonder if you've had run-ins with him since. I mean, he's been in the league still. Are you surprised, by the way, that he's still going?
Not surprised, no. Like I said, for me, the way that he was adapting to the game and stuff like that, the game changed, and at one point I'm okay, Lindy was literally there in the 90s and early 2000 when the game was totally different, right? There was more defensive core, the veteran, everything changed now. The young guys are coming ready to play 18 and 19 and 20. A lot of guys don't go play in the American League anymore, right? It's just different. And the way that he was able to adapt and like I said, I will not say change his style, but put a little, a few, tune it up a little bit to be able to adjust to those young guys coming in.
JP Dumont on the Western Hotline ahead of tonight's reunion for the 05-06 Sabres. JP, thanks for the time, and have a good weekend. You got tonight, you got the catwalk for charity, so a lot of guys in town raising money at Ryan Miller's event as well, and imagine good times for all you guys getting back together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, JP.